Hello everybody, this is Annette. Just wanted to drop in for a few minutes because I've got lots and lots and lots of stuff to share on this video. I just hope y'all can see what I'm doing and hear me and everything's going good. First, a little you see this little clock right here in front of me? I found it at kind of like a, well, we're in Texas in a little bitty ass town, and they have these places called antique malls, which is no bigger than a dollar store or whatever, but they have antiques. Yeah, yada yada. Thing is, it's a place where you can go sell your junk, okay? And when I ran across these little circle clock things, I mean, it's clock, yeah, come on a plaque and everything. Wasn't too thrilled about the background, but my first impression was I saw the clock mechanism. We do a lot of general store miniature clocks, and the clock mechanisms itself is $5, $6, $7. Well, this whole little thing right here was $2, and they had 6 of them. So we bought all 6, and I thought, well, shoot, I can make something out of that, I'm sure, and it don't have to be a clock. So what I done was I totally discombobulated this clock, took out this little mechanism, and I turned it into this really cool art, I guess you could say, mixed media. And here we go. Let me find the little point. Okay, see, this is the back. The little clock mechanism fits in there, and then you got your little hanger. But you can take this off and just use it as a plaque, which I've done that on one, and then this one. This one turned out really well. I was so impressed. I thought, well, I'm going to make another one. These are Christmas gifts, you know. But these are stencils. And I'm sure if you look closely, you'll see some. I don't know if it's Tim Holtz or yada yada or blah blah or hoochie coochie or whoever they are. I'm sorry. I don't have that kind of money. So what I done, I don't know, a while back when I was into the making the, hear my puppies? Well, I was making the box cards, you know, the exploding cards, whatever they're called. Find some acetate that my little flowers would jiggle and everything. So I bought this package. I think there's like 8 sheets that come in, of acetate. Ran me about $4, $5, $6 because I'm a tightwad. And I was hanging on to them and hanging on to them and hanging on to them, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to make me some stencils because I don't have $10 or $15 for a 6x6 stencil, and I'm just not going to do it. So what I did is I took the acetate and went on Google and found whoever's stencil I was looking for. So, I've got, I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can see it. Let me look real quick. Oh yeah, y'all can tell real good what a stencil is and what it ain't. Just some regular old pictures of the stencils, and I turned them into my stencils. Now granted, the more intricate they are, the more delicate they are, and the harder to get. To use over and over and over. Like my little feet right here, I've got a set of this one toe. I don't know, I guess I was over exuberant or something and I ripped it, okay? It's not the sturdiest material, but you know, it works. I don't like them. So I've got the honeycomb or chicken wire. I've got the big old fat bricks, and then I've got regular bricks. Those are really cool. And I found this. It's really not a stencil. It was just a thing for butterflies, and I thought, well, that'd make a cool stencil, so I turned it into a stencil. The feet. I believe this is Tim Holtz's rulers or whatever it is. I don't know. Don't give me the start line. And I saw it and I thought, well, shoot, I'll try it. Well, my little machine cut it out, lickety split, and there you go. We've got, oh, this one kind of messed up a little bit because I had a bad blade in it, or I don't know what happened, but this is all I got out of it. So it's a bigger version of the sloppy bricks. Then I got the rock path stone, rock path stone, the rock pathway. And then we've got the damask piece in the middle, which that turned out pretty cool. And I used it, and then just a flourish that was, that I had got, or I made, I don't even remember. I think I made it on my silhouette. And by the way, I love my little machine. Love, 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 love. Is that what everybody else says? I know y'all tired of me gabbing, but I've also tried, it's using a texture paste, media paste, whatever you want to call it. Well, I've made my own. It needs to be stirred up a little bit. But here's the deal. I'm not going to spend a buttload of money on something that I've got at home that I can use. And what I decided to do was, I tried the baking soda and everything that goes with that, and it was awesome. But the very next day when I went to use it, it was dried out. And I thought, well, instead of me adding a whole bunch of water to it, there's got to be a way to make this stuff so it lasts longer than 24 hours. And I did all the YouTube tutorials and tried the baby powder and tried this and tried that. Well, I come up with my own, I guess. I haven't seen any YouTubes on it. So I'm using this patching plaster, which is the taping and bedding, the mud that you put on your walls for when you're putting up new sheetrock. I usually buy it in the great big deals, but we only had a small patch, and I told my husband, I said, "Oh, just pick me up a little batch." Well, they don't have them, so he brought this home. So by DAP, and it's called patching plaster is what I used. I've also used, it comes from Walmart, the plaid acrylic paint and Elmer's glue all. So you start out with a big whopping jug of this, and then you just add a little bit of paint and a little bit of glue. No correct measurements, nothing that y'all ought to be, oh my God, I gotta have this recipe. No, there's nothing set in stone. Just a spoonful of this, a little bit of paint, and a little bit of glue. And I come up with, it's really a good texture. Look at that. It's really good. Not too runny. It's just a good medium to work with. I like it. Thank God I didn't go spend $25, $30 on a bottle of texture paste. Because trust me, I would be thoroughly pissed. So, here, that'll save you some money. I had it. If you don't have that, then use the, make the baking soda one. Because it's fine. It's a little gritty. But mostly, your texture medium, when it dries, it's gritty. Doesn't matter. Even this is a little gritty. But, come on. It's the medium. It's life in general. So on this, everything that you see is raised up, and it's not as thick, I mean, not as tall as I thought it would be. But then again, you've got to look at the distance of my medium that I used for my stencil. It's very thin. So every one of these is very thin. And I mean, I've even layered them. Got a really good texture on it. This is the one that I threw it away because the G's were not doing very well, and I ripped my stencil. I just haven't printed out another one. But even on the print is awesome on the stencil. Just make sure that you have a new blade and your depth is where you need it to be. But I mean, that turned out awesome. Here's a tip, guys. You're fixing to see me use my goo I made. I made another one. I'm not very happy with it at all because I did all these different textures on it, and it was horrible. Not the textures, the painting was horrible. And it's like I tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The further I got, the worse it got. But this is like the third time I'm going to be doing this one. And I've decided that, well, instead of taking it out to the shop and using the belt sander to get rid of everything, I'm going to show you my texture paste. I'm going to go ahead and lay it out and show you, hey, all these YouTubers, I know, I understand this. It don't have to be perfect, and if you like it, it's fine, and all this other stuff, but I just don't like it. It didn't turn out well for me on this one. I mean, as you can tell, look, this one, awesome, cool, no, it didn't work. And I don't know why. I mean, I did the same thing. It just, life happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my homemade stuff, and I'm going to cover it up. I'm not going to sand it. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm just going to cover all this up and go on. That's what I'm going to do. That way I can use my stuff. No sense in painting it before you go because your colors are going to change. You're going to do all kinds of stuff. So just cover it up. Just make sure that that you can't see everything that you've already done to it. I tried. That's all I can say. It's what happens when you craft. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then you just go on. Because if you're expecting 100% perfection, you in the wrong section of this YouTube, okay? You can do it thick or thin. Basically what you're doing is you're just trying to cover up everything that you put down. Because if it needs to be sanded, you can sand it, make it smooth. And that's probably what I'll do before I get ready to start putting more on there. But didn't want to mess up my belt sander with all that paint and stain and everything that I used, so look at the coverage. Isn't that awesome? Because there was, see, I got a little bit of weeby wobbies in there, but a little bit of sandpaper on there, we'll be good to go on the next plaque. And see, in this one I filled up the hole. Well, the first time I went over it, I guess. No big deal. Not a problem. I'm going to leave that over there to dry. Oh, here's another thing too. I've seen lots and lots and lots of videos about the the little heat guns that look like little bitty blow dryers. Okay, here's my heat gun. It is a full-fledged heat gun that I picked up from Harbor Freight for $7.99, and I figured you can't beat that. And I've got a high and a low, and hey, it does good for me. I'm not going to spend an exuberant amount of money on something that I don't have to. I mean, if I can find a cheaper place, and that would be like industrial strength heat gun, not a big deal. I think it's awesome. So I showed you my clocks. I got 6 of those for $2 each. You can't beat that because the mechanisms cost way more than that. Plus, you get an extra bonus. I mean, you can either decorate the back or use it as, you know, what you bought it for. You have to look and look and look for all these deals. But that was awesome. I like that. I'm making mini albums for Christmas, which, as you all know, is right around the corner. And what I'm going to do on the covers is a little different. I made this mini album out of toilet paper rolls. Well, in the cover, I covered with paper sack. Basically turned it into an old leather binder, which I'm happy with it. I mean, I'm just getting started with it, basically. Let me move everything out of there. You know, did the hidden hand system. I embossed the papers before I stained them. It turned out pretty good. I mean, I've got a long way to go on it, but still, I thought, wow, how awesome is that? Because I was going to make everybody's cover different, and then I thought, well, if I do them all the same, they can't be pissing and moaning and whining, well, I like hers better. His come out so much better, and blah, 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 blah. I'm not in the mood for it, fighting with the kids for Christmas. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of paper sacks like this to get all my mini albums. I've got 6 for sure that I've got to make in less than 3 weeks. So I'm hoping that works out for me. Because if I don't get it for Christmas, then it's going to be birthday presents for next year. So, I mean, I was all real ambitious this year, and I've been doing this and that, and bought everything to do it and make it, and it's like, oh my gosh, time has just got away from me. So, nothing fancy, you guys. Just wanting to chat and get a video out there, making you want to come back and see me. Hope that's good, because when this thing dries, I want to show y'all a technique, I guess, and it's all over YouTube, because I'm not going to spend Uber's amount of dollars on the crackle medium paste or paint or whatever's out there. I just saw it and thought, oh, that's cool, but I'm not going to spend $15 for this little bitty jar of stuff when this little $1.15 glue can do the same thing. Come on, really? I don't get it. So I'm going to let this dry and sand it or not or whatever, and then I'll be back. Thanks for joining. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.